Hello from Blueco. So today, what I want to talk about is why we do this. You have tax pros, tax advisors, EAs, CPAs, so many different people, so many different terms, so many different levels. Um, we don't do it to get yelled at. We don't do it to say, well, you done it wrong or this or that. Or, when you're at your job, do you behave like that? Um, this is what we do. We get training, extensive mother training like no other. Um, I'm still in training. While I'm training, I get more training, and it's constant. It's nonstop. But you know what? The benefits are worth the while. Take the time to learn this. It pays off. Each thing is different. Um, each time is different. Each client is different. I'm gonna start a tax trade school because I'm on Facebook and I'm asking questions to all these tax people and accounts and asking how many someone who had to start at the bottom and work their way up. And I'm getting a lot of, well, this is not a continuing education class. Go here, go there. Well, that's great to do. But let me tell you, sometimes they just need help. Simple tax questions. I found an excellent group. We'll get to that once I'm in there. They will help you, and they have webinars that you can go in. Yes, the webinars cost money, but they're a great advance. If you're in training, they will help you with what you need to know. So I'm going to move on today. It's so cold here in Colorado. Crappy, cold, getting ready to rain kind of day. Still haven't survived the snowstorm, but it'll happen eventually. Yes, I'm the crazy tax lady. This is what I do for a living. Welcome to Blueco. Um, Today I want to bring up, I guess I'd say, the tax office itself. Remember, there's a bunch of us out there during off season who have the training to do your accounting, your book work, your everything and anything in between to help you get ready for tax season. Um, you can I got a little headache going, so play with the hair, redo it. But I'm an accountant. I'm a bookkeeper. I'm a tax pro, tax advocate. Also in training to be an EA. And to level up, I've also got small business training. Schedule C, Schedule D, Schedule E, Schedule F, ones, two, and threes. I can do. I have the software at home. You need me to look at something that a tax person did for you. Say you had a friend of a friend do it and you just don't feel comfortable. I can recheck it for you. You just upload it to me. I will send you my fee flat out. Let's just say it here. I charge a small fee depending on what you have. If it's a basic, then yeah, maybe 40, $50. Anything way beyond that's gonna my imagination that's gonna take me days, up to 100. I don't charge excessively, but I have the skill and I have the training. And need summer work. A lot of us do. A lot of us are off in the summer. So let's get into what I'm doing. I am taking what's called a level up test. And I know there are a lot of new tax people, new tax starters who needs help with this training. So I'm going to start a tax trade school for free to specifically help. The only difference is there'll be demos. If you want the real prolong, I'm going to set up subscriptions for that. maybe $5 subscription, something, I don't know, to help you. And that's a one-time charge. That's not excessively every month, every month, every month, every month. I've seen some as high as $200-300 for a simple thing for retirement. I'm like, these are new tax pros. You really think they make that kind of money? I didn't the first year, didn't the second year, but and the first year I started was during the pandemic, 2020, and it's crazy because the first year I really accelerated with taxes was during the pandemic, and the stuff that I learned and was just amazing how fast you can pick up. Computer software is not everything. Sure, it puts it in there, but if you don't know what you're putting in, how are you going to explain it to the client? What if the client, let me move this computer back. I think I'm sitting too close today. What if the client, maybe a little better? What if the client, per se, has a Schedule C, but no expenses? What do you tell them? Oh, I can put it in, but what is next year for them going to look like? And the year after that? If they don't know their expenses, they can trade off with those businesses. The IRS is still busy pumping out stuff, probably fixing tons of stuff. That's why they never answer their phones. But keep in mind, I really need an office chair. Crazy tax lady needs an office chair for at home. But we all made a decision one way or other. This is what we're going to do. Flat out. This is what we're going to do. Now, we're not running a beauty contest. We're not running any kind of contest. Beauty, clothing, jewelry. I'm in my good vibe suit today. I'm out, as you can tell behind me. I don't have a very big place, and the little corner of my bedroom has become my office. So, the summer, I will move it outside on the deck. I love being outside in the summer. But keep in mind, I'm going to cut it short today. Before we start talking about the next page I do, the next page is going to be on your 401k, 403b. And I'm going to stop there with those two. Let's keep in mind, let me get my paper out. Where's my paper? Had to get up and get my paper. Paper. Yeah, that's the test I'm doing. But let's write on here. I need blank paper. This is terrible. I do all this stuff. So I'm going to turn one over. Because I recycle just about every piece of paper. People's like, you got a paper shredder? Well, I ain't going to use the paper shredder till I'm done with the paper. So 401ks and 403bs. We're going to get into that. Also, another thing I want to get into, my last episode that I did was on the 1040 and why does it lead to so many things. So we're going to get back into the 1040 because even though I'm talking about retirement and the retirement options for you out there, your annuities, pension plans, securities, Robinhood securities, crypto, virtual currency, all the stuff that we've talked about already. And you can go back and watch. They're not the greatest videos, but my laptop's 6 years old and it's still clicking, so I'm going to keep using it. So, I don't know if you can see that. 401ks, 403bs, and the 1040. That's going to be our next chapters. And that will probably come Thursday because of all this rain and stuff. I'm probably going to end up having to clean my deck again. I finally got all the moisture off from the snowstorm. So now with it raining off and on all day, I'm going to have to get rid of the water again. One of the reasons why I brought up and keep in mind the tax pro thing is I think it's a good idea to have a really structured tax trade school that people can go to. Not one just to level up. There's plenty of those out there. You can become an EA, a CPA, an accountant, bookkeeper, Quicken Books, all this stuff you can do. But if you don't have the knowledge, where are you going to go? A lot of the schools, they're great. But like I said, they cost a lot of money. So let's get into doing that. I may do a couple of episodes of a tax trade school from beginning to up to Schedule C's for beginners only, not for people who are CPAs or EAs. You guys know the drill. All right. You know the drill. You know what you should be doing. You know that, okay, well, this is so and so and so and so. Look for it in the book. No, you don't tell somebody to look for an answer in the book. You sit there and you work it out with them. I'm going to start a tax trade school Facebook group, and it is going to be free. There will be some demos on there for me if you want to get into more stuff, but most of it will be free. And there's not going to be questions for your clients. There's not going to be questions for your business. It's going to be school, like going back to kindergarten, but tax trade school, learning from beginning to end. There's so much. I mean, a tax pro, CPAs and EAs, they think we rule the world. We're big on taxes. We're this, we're that. CPAs are great, and EAs are great, and tax pros are great. But there are new people preparing for this line of duty. My eyes look like I was caught like a deer in the headlight. I really need a new laptop. So let's get rolling with this. My favorite tea. Anyway, let's get rolling with this. Let's see what happens. Terry, you're going to do great. Terry's got a test coming up. Her first one. Her very first test she's got to take. This is what I'm talking about. I want her not just to learn what it is to be a tax pro or an accountant or CPA or EA, to learn the info as she goes. Because you can be a tax pro and sit there and put stuff in the computer all day. Look at me. Look at me go. Look, I'm typing. I'm typing away. Look at me go. But then if the client comes to you and say, why did you use, let's just say, for example, why did you use the 1099-S? Are you going to be able to look at that customer right in the face and say, well, the computer told me to? Or are you going to say to the customer, well, you're selling your home, this is the form that you need? Or the 3013. Do you know what that means? That means somebody died. A relative, family member, somebody is deceased, and they need to be put in as deceased into that computer. So you need to not know just the form names. You need to know the mentioning of the names. And I guarantee you, the new tax people, because even I struggle. I'm not perfect. I struggle with certain questions. I have my big O test, what I'm doing right now. And there are questions in here that I'm like, what the heck is that? And people are saying that we're going to be virtual completely by 2025. Every company, you're going to do face-to-face like this. Are you going to feel comfortable enough to do that? It's not just about the tax pros. Clients, learn who you're dealing with. New clients. If you meet somebody you actually like and you feel comfortable with, don't be afraid to ask questions. How long have you been in the business? How long have you been doing this trade? A new tax pro, for example, take me. I haven't been in business for 20 years. I've been in business for under 5. And I guarantee you there are some things that I know that someone who's been in the business for 20 years does not, because they don't have that pull back and revitalize. Remember, everything you learn will be up here. There are days my brain is just make it stop with the training. But there are days when I get a client who gives me a call and I'll say, well, yeah, we did that, didn't we? And this is why we did it. This is why it was important for you to get this completed. Make sure you're doing that. All right. I need to wear my hair down more, yeah. I'm going to end this today. And like I said, the next session we do, which will be Thursday, will be 401ks, 403bs, and the 1040 again. The 1040 I'm going to bring up just about every time we do this, because this is such an important form that leads you into other forms. So as a new client with retirement issues or regular, oh, I got 3 W-2s, but they didn't take out enough federal, they didn't take out enough state. Why? Make sure you're filling out your W-2s correctly. Again, if you need a second look at any kind of work that you've had done, this is what I do. I may not look crazy like, and I am so insecure about being virtual, but you know what? It's becoming easier. I could just learn to keep my eyes on the screen or find something else to do in the background to kind of, like, look, I got Baby Yoda. He's my little tax free. See? He makes this little noise. I used him a lot last year. Yes. Sometimes you need, and then we've got these little squishy ball things to relieve that stress. And he was my, when I had kids sitting and the desk with me and the kids weren't kind of fidgety and not really doing anything, I just annoying the parents. I'd hit the little button, and that was the end of that. The kids were more enthused in what Baby Yoda was doing than what I would, the parents were doing. Sometimes you need a mental blocker a few times, maybe throughout the day. Anyway, I was going to keep this short, but I did almost 20 minutes. I'm quite proud of myself. Now I need to go flip my hash browns. You guys have a good day, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye from Blueco.